Welcome to Serenity and Fire, the podcast where wellness meets grit. I'm your host, Krista Guidenti, founder of Panacea Luxury Spa Boutique. Join me as we dive into the intriguing world of biohacking, clean living, cutting-edge spa trends, and the hustle, grind, and grit of entrepreneurship. From my personal battles with weight management, infertility, and a 30-year journey to create and launch my dream business, to building a sanctuary for those who have been touched by cancer, I'm here to share real talk, inspire big dreams, and spark a passion for holistic living inside each and every one of you. So let's dive in. Welcome back to Serenity and Fire. I'm so super excited about today's episode because you may have seen Panacea Luxury Spa Boutique featured on the popular Netflix reality TV show Love is Blind. And I have been getting so many questions about what happened behind the scenes. So I brought my friend Keri Croft on the show today. Keri, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So excited to have you. It's kind of weird because I've been on your show, but you haven't been on my show.
You know, turnabout is fair play. Turnabout is fair play. I'm very excited.
I'm very excited too. So for those of you listening, Keri, if you're not familiar, has a podcast production company, and she and her company produce my podcast. And she's been literally asking me all these questions about Love is Blind and what happened ever since she found out about us doing this episode. And so I was like, you know what? Why don't we just jump on the show together and let's just have a conversation about it? Because honestly, I know all of you are probably wanting to know the same things. So let's dish.
I
Let's
love
chit-chat.
it. I mean, I think first high level, because I'm a voyeur and I love reality TV and all the smut and everything, but just what was it like for you guys to have a production company come in like that? But then even before that, how did this all sort of come into play?
Yeah, so it was kind of crazy because I'm sitting on my couch, like I think it was like a Friday night, and I get a message from our call center and they're like, hey, someone just called. They want to talk to you about being on a popular dating show. No details, no information, just left the phone number. And I was like, that's interesting. And quite honestly, like normally I can't return those calls that fast, but I was just watching TV. And so I quickly texted the person and was like, hey, got your message. Would love to talk. She called me back right away. And she was like, she's like, I have a friend who lives in Columbus and she has been telling me all about Panacea, and I've been kind of stalking you and checking it out online, and everything looks so beautiful. And we're filming this dating show in Columbus, and we would love to feature Panacea in one of the episodes for one of our dates. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Yeah, we're definitely interested. But like, I was like, could you tell me what the show is? And she was like, well, I can't tell you what the show is. She's like, you're going to have to sign an NDA and all the things first. And she's like, but if you're interested, I'll send that all over to you. You can take a look at it and then we can go from there. So that's how it all started. She sent the NDA over to me. It said nothing about what show it was. It was a very cover name for the show. And then of course went into all of the non-disclosure agreements. And it's been so exciting for us and nerve-wracking at the same time because we filmed this over a year ago. And so for the entire last year, we were not allowed to say a single word about it. So
what was it like internally? Did you guys have a bet going on, and what did you guys think it was? Did you guys wage bet?
Well, it was so funny because once I talked to her and she told me kind of what they were thinking and, what services they wanted to do. I'm like, okay, well, I have to have a couple of therapists in here to help me with this. So who can we have that I know can keep this a secret the whole time? So of course I called my director, Jen, and told her hey, this is what's happening. Are you interested? Would you want to be a part of this with me? And, of course, instantly she was. And she's like, oh my God, it's Love is Blind, isn't it? It's Love is Blind. I know it is. And I'm like, I can't tell you. I honestly don't know. And so that's how it all started. And then, so once we signed the NDA and then they told us that it was Love is Blind, of course, Jen was like, I knew it. I knew it was Love is Blind.
See, I would have thought Bachelor. I would have been totally riding the Bachelor train.
Honestly, for me, I don't really watch reality TV shows very often. I've seen Love is Blind a couple of times, but I really am not an avid follower of it. And so I honestly myself had no clue, but Bachelor was the first thing that I thought of too, because that was kind of our era. And but yeah, no.
So then what happens? So you close down the spa when they come in and they're there for a day?
Yeah, so we did it on a Sunday night. I think it was a Sunday night or a Tuesday night because we closed at 5:00. So yes, we waited until everybody left. The whole camera crew and production crew came in right about the time that we closed. And I think they had about 6 or 8 people on the crew. They came into our event space, laid out all their cords and cameras and cables and all the things like kind of all over the place, and then just waited until we gave them the go ahead and let them know that, you know, no clients were in there and no staff were in there, because we obviously we had to really limit who was at the spa. So it was just me and Jason, my husband, and then Jen, my director. And, you know, of course, people were speculating. The staff, you know, they knew that they saw all the cameras coming in, and, you know, they're all speculating about what's going on, but nobody really asked afterwards, and nobody really dug into it. And we kept it super hush hush and totally on the DL. So
what was it like when they all came in? Was it just like business as usual and you kind of like stayed out and really didn't see much? Or like, what was the most interesting, fun thing about?
I think the most surprising thing for me was that I totally thought they were going to want us to be in the video with them and like meeting the couple. And I thought they were going to show so much of the spa in the episode that they aired, but honestly, they were there for like 3 hours. And when the episode came out, by the way, it's like episode 8 of season 10, there were like 15 seconds of the spa on the show.
Was it your logo?
No, it was actually the couple in our couple suite for our Russell Mud Ritual service. So that service, normally what happens is you get a dry brush scrub from the neck down. It opens up the pores, exfoliates the skin, prepares your body for the healing muds that you paint all over. And then you go into your private eucalyptus steam room that's in that couple suite. And there's these little palettes of mud with all different colors and grits for different body parts. And you paint them from head to toe. And then you steam in there for 20 minutes. And then we have these fun couples question cards to just kind of help stimulate conversation and deepen the relationship. And then after that, you shower off. And then you have your 60 or 90-minute massage. And it includes a cocktail and some other fun things. And so that was the service that they chose. And the part that they showed on the episode was literally just like 15 seconds of them in the eucalyptus steam room, like putting the mud on each other. They, of course, had their bathing suits and stuff on. And so it was kind of cute because they had one scene where he had actually had his hands in the mud and he like put his handprints on her back. So you can see that in the episode. But that was all that they showed. And, you know, after that, they used the amenities and they interviewed them in the spa and, you know, asked them a lot of different questions. They put them in different parts of the spa and separated them and asked different questions. And with all of that filming, that was all that they ended up putting on the episode. So it kind of just shows you how much work goes into, like, if you think about a movie.
Oh, for sure.
And like how many scenes and hours that they spend for every little section of a movie, like that was pretty revealing.
So my twisted brain is already, I'm way back when you said the questions and like intimate. I wonder how many people have sex in there. You're probably going to make me edit that out, aren't you?
I probably am going to make you edit that out.
But seriously, do you?
I think, of course, we wonder that. Of course, we don't encourage that. Of course.
But it's so conducive to like.
It is. It's so intimately bonding. But they only have 20 minutes. It takes like 7 minutes to put the mud, 7 to 10, maybe 7, 8 minutes to put the mud all over your body. And then the question cards are super fun and super distracting too. So they kind of get into the couples question cards. And
do you really discourage it? Do you say something about that?
We don't say anything. We hope people are respectful enough to.
I mean, like you don't have anything like fine print. I mean,
yeah,
who knows?
No, there's no fine print, but like we hope people know not to do that. And the whole thing gets completely disinfected afterwards, just in case. So.
FYI, we do have a safety protocol in case someone breaks the rules and kind of, you know, yes. You got to keep that in. That's views right there. You got to keep it in.
We'll see.
Everybody has that same question.
I'm sure everybody asks it. But
and I'm the dirtbag asking it.
For the record, anyone who has a dirty mind like Keri,
yes,
we do not want you doing that.
Yes.
Nor do we encourage it.
Do your business at home,
yes,
okay?
Please do it at home.
Not at Panacea Luxury Spa.
Yes, hopefully we get you like intrigued and excited so that you then go home and do it at home. Of course your mind would go there.
So Chris is like, note to self, never under any circumstances have Keri back on this show. Check.
I love it though, because you're so curious. That's why I wanted to have you on.
But I know that would be a normal question anybody would be thinking, and you
Yes.
kind of have to ask it because it's a spa. You're all naked. You're setting the tone for an intimate experience. So I'm just curious, as an owner, if you'd ever had any people taking it too far. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, thankfully we haven't had to break anyone out of the room yet. So.
Yeah. So I think that's interesting too. Do you feel like did you get publicity from that? Or since your name wasn't on, did they have your name anywhere?
No, they didn't show our logo, which I was kind of ticked off about a little bit because Pins was on there and they definitely showed Pins logo quite a bit. And I was like, dang, maybe Pins negotiated a much better deal or something. I don't know.
That's kind of what I'm thinking is note to self, because and when someone approaches you like that, you're so excited and you don't know what you don't know. But then you look at The Bachelor, and anytime they go to a place, the first thing they show rolling in is but it's Hilton or some big resort. So it's but still, I mean,
I know.
It's cool.
I really thought that they would have shown a little bit of that just to give us a little bit of credit. I mean, it's a lot of work to allow somebody to come into the spa to do, or any business really, to do something like that. Because again, at least for us, we couldn't have clients there. That would completely disrupt the serene experience for all of our clients around. So we had to make sure the place was empty. We had to make sure we didn't have staff there. We had to get NDAs from the people who were there. And then the other thing that's kind of interesting that was very surprising to me is that anywhere that they would film, if there was artwork on the wall or anything that looked like it could be attributed to someone and wasn't something that we personally had trademark rights to, we had to take it off the walls. So, I guess it makes sense because you wouldn't want someone to see their painting or their artwork or something on the wall down the road and be like, this show's so popular. And why didn't you give me credit for having my artwork in your episode?
Right.
So there was a lot of that kind of thing, which was really surprising. So it is a lot of work, and you're right. When they first approached me, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. You're just kind of really caught up in all of that. Plus, it's on it's in a time crunch because she called me and she's like, okay, we're here next week. We're filming next week. Can you get us in? And so there's not a whole lot of time to be going back and forth and getting attorneys involved and negotiating NDAs and contracts. And
they kind of have you over a barrel.
They do. And I think you kind of, it's kind of a goodwill thing where you're and it says right in the contract, there's no promise or guarantee that you'll be on the show. We don't promise you anything. And so you kind of just have to agree with that and be okay with it.
Yeah.
Which, we were. So
no, which is cool. And you also have had somebody back in, right? The spa to enjoy. I mean, I'm sure you're getting goodwill and good stuff that came from that.
I think so. And Experience Columbus and other, media outlets all throughout town have announced, all of the businesses that were part of the season. So we've gotten some recognition that way, which has been really nice. And yes, we have had another couple come on the show. Just for confidentiality purposes, I'm not going to share who that was, but it was really cool for them to reach out and express that they just really needed to decompress. It was, I think her statement to me was, we're kind of a hot mess over here waiting for this final show to air. So do you think we could, arrange something for us to come in outside of hours? And so we did work out something with them, and it was just really fun to see them and work with them and be able to give them an opportunity to just be together and not be under the pressure and the stress of the cameras and the public and everything else going on. So
now, when you saw the other people, on the initial, when they all came in, did you see them and meet them? All the couples.
Oh, so when they do it, it's just one couple, because this, at least for us, because it was a date.
Oh, it's one couple.
Yeah. So if on the show,
Got it.
they do so many dates after they've proposed, and so they were.
You can say who that was. We can say because you can say who it was because they saw him on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was it?
Yeah, so we had Ashley and Alex were the
and
couple.
they had the dramatic end.
They did have a very dramatic end.
She told him.
She totally
what
told
was
him.
That? Do you think that was the right? Was she on the right side of things?
I think so. I will say though, the night when they came in to film, it's funny because Jason was like, those two do not like each other at all. And I'm like, you don't know that, babe. I'm like, imagine how stressed out you would be with the pressure of being in your bathing suit, having, all these people around you filming and like you're trying to have a date, but it's hard to have a date because you're on camera and all these things are going on. I'm like, I think they probably really like each other, and they both were really sweet people. And so I'm like, no, I think they're fine. And he's like, no, they do not. They're not holding hands. They haven't, like, we didn't see them kiss, but also they don't really let us around the filming part of the show. I was able to observe a little part of it, which was the part that they ended up airing, but everything else, like, they really didn't let us be around during the filming. So you didn't really get to see what was happening behind the scenes. And so I told him the whole time, I'm like, no, they're fine. They're fine. And then when the season aired and like you see what's going on in between them, like the chemistry just wasn't there. In her defense, it did seem like he was lying quite a bit, whether he was or not. You know, I guess we'll probably never know the truth of that, but that's basically what she told him at the altar was, you know, I just value integrity and I think you've been lying to me. And it was pretty spicy.
She's like, lights out.
Yes.
Hey, your husband, Jason, he's always right, isn't he?
He's so intuitive, like very in tune to relationships and people and
what's going
all the
on
things. I should have just listened to him, but I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, you know,
Of
like that's a
course.
hard scenario to be in.
I don't know how I don't know how I would be able to even handle that.
Never. First off, if I ever was going to be on one of those shows, the first thing I would say is like, you will never show me in my bathing suit. Not one time, ever.
Yeah, well, that's what they want.
They'd be like,
they
"You're
want
out."
someone who's like, they don't care. They're just like in it to win it.
Yeah.
And they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
That's wild. What about our boy Chris, man? He really has teed himself up to be the 2026 douchebag. Like, I think he's going to win. I don't think I think he is going, especially in the reality TV realm. I mean, he might be a nice guy and everything.
I don't know.
The way he positioned his, you know, I usually date like girls who just like, you know, do Pilates and, you know, like basically like I mean, what?
I know.
I would have preferred him to just be like, hey, honey, like, I don't know. The way he did that was so
bad and so disrespectful. And of course they were going to show that because it's, you know, it's going to get ratings and people are going to react to it. But then the fact that he was just like, basically like, I don't understand why you're upset and like, why are you leaving? Like, well, no shit. Of course she's going to walk out, and good for her for like walking out and leaving and ending the relationship, because who wants to be with someone who you have to be perfect 24/7?
But from what I can even recall about her, I mean, I saw a clip of her. I thought she was as cute as can be.
Adorable, super sweet, and obviously very smart. She's a doctor. Like, she's super kind. At least, I mean, obviously, you know, you're feeling like you know someone just by watching a show.
Oh, yeah,
so
right.
I guess you don't know all the behind the scenes, but from what the show presented, she seems very down to earth, very sweet, very kind, very just great personality. I don't know. I think he's crazy, but you know, at the same time, I think that's the whole thing about this show is that can you be with someone for the person that they are, or are there more things that matter? And for him, there are definitely more things that matter. The physical definitely mattered for him, you know?
Well, and I mean, to defend that, like, I think the physical matters for all of us in some realm, right? But I feel like, and maybe it's the way they edited it, and we all say stupid things, but like, I just feel like it's no wonder we have this like epidemic in our country, especially about body image, you know, because I don't know, even if he felt that way, like, let's say he wasn't jiving with her physically, or he is more in tune with someone who's like, I don't know, got a six pack and like, you know, biceps. Yeah. You don't have to say those things out loud either. Like, I don't think.
Couldn't you just say, I'm not feeling the chemistry between us? Like, you don't have to say like, I'm sorry, you don't work out every single day. Like, and I really need that.
And again, playing devil's advocate, because I don't want Chris to like go jump off a bridge somewhere, but like,
true.
So I think he might in his mind have been thinking he's being honest and forthright, which to his point, he was being honest. But I mean, man, I just think that was just a tough one to.
I think I agree with you. Like, when I was watching it, I'm like, on one level, I mean, at least he's being honest. He's not forging into a marriage that he shouldn't go into. And that's obviously not going to work. I mean, good for bringing it up then so she can go find the person that she really should be with.
Yeah.
So like good for that. But then when they had the get together at Pins, I don't know if you saw that episode, but he basically like said all the same things to the group of guys about her. So like just basically driving the knife in even further. And then he had the nerve to hit on Bree, who was with Connor and very happily with Connor. And like, it just was so bad and so distasteful. And he basically is like, you know, Connor's not the right guy for you. He doesn't challenge you. I'll challenge you. And you should be with me. Like, I was kind of like, okay, I'm sorry, but that is like not a good look at all.
I'll challenge her to a burpee competition. Jesus, Chris, slow it down, boy. Slow it down.
Yeah. And good for Bree because she just was like, the only person I would want to go through this show with is Connor. And then she like walked away, which I was like, good for you.
Oh, that's great. There is integrity left in this world.
Yeah.
I mean, and the other party was like, okay, this is like Love is Blind. We're talking about people coming on a reality show. Like, and then we're like, oh, they need to be like, oh, and I mean, they're young kids and like
So
what
young.
will be, right?
And honestly, I think Chris, he'll probably end up being fine. Like, first off, he grew out his hair on the reunion show. I was like, holy smokes, he looks so hot.
Oh, you know that they always do that glow up. They always do that reunion glow up. And either most of the time it goes well. And then sometimes like on the Real Housewives, these women, it's like they take it too far. You're like, damn, I don't know what happened there. But like sometimes people come out looking like so much better.
Yeah. Well, and so he, you know, he's younger. I think he was younger than the girl that he was dating. And, you know, hopefully he'll learn some things and he'll come out a better person in the end.
He will. He just had to do it he had to do it under the hot spotlight of reality TV.
Yes.
I mean, that's what you sign up for.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. I was kind of like, when all that was happening, I was just like, oh my gosh, this poor guy, like, how is he going to show his face? I mean, maybe not poor guy, like he did that to himself, but but still, how do you like come out in public? And I mean, everybody will know who you are, but at the same time, you're right. I mean, that's what they sign up for when they do this kind of a show. So anyways, it was interesting.
Let's circle this back around to you and Panacea, shall we?
Yes.
I think this just basically, to me, is another validation point of just what you're doing here in the city.
Thank you.
They didn't ask just anybody.
Yes.
They asked you and Panacea because what you have created here and continue to create here is very, very special. I personally feel lucky to have you and it here.
Aw.
And I know you're just getting started.
I need to have you on my show more. I'm loving all this.
But I
Thank
say
you.
that I speak the truth. I mean, look at you. Look at everything you're doing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very exciting. Honestly, we felt very honored to be on the show, even if it was only for a 15-second clip. But, you know, it's pretty cool to be recognized on it's an international show. So even though they didn't show our logo, it's still cool that we were on the show. And I know there's people out there that are obsessed with trying to find scenes from these types of reality shows. So take a look at episode 8 at the very beginning, the really cool mud shower experience. That's us. But it was a really fun thing to be a part of.
I love that for you. Hopefully, you know what? Hopefully you'll have another opportunity.
I hope so too. And, you know, it's fun to talk about and it's exciting to see, you know, the relationships and I don't know what you want to say, like the trajectory that comes out of it for even just the people on the show and for us to be able to be like, oh my gosh, we know those people, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
So what about your show? For anyone out there who has never listened to Keri's show, she has a podcast that is wildly popular called The Keri Croft Show. She has such incredible guests on her show. Her show is always so interesting and entertaining too. So Keri, if you could tell our listeners a little bit about your show, why should they come out and listen?
You know, my show is a little bit of, it's basically a reflection. It started as a reflection of my personality. So it's a little bit of business. You'll get fitness, people going through hard things. Sometimes you'll see like a hip hop artist. You just never know what you're going to get. But the common thread is, I think, badassery and really that we, you know, the way we can kind of show up for ourselves and other people in this crazy life. And so now I've just been building a business underneath this that's kind of starting to take shape.
The B Lab, right?
The B Lab. And then I think the verb of the B Lab is mental athleticism. So it's like the way we move is with mental athleticism. It's this whole system that I have been quietly just sort of shifting, shaping, creating. And now we are rolling out solo casts alongside of these shows. So if you want to listen on, we drop an episode every Thursday with a guest. And then every Monday, they're both at 8 a.m. I will do like a very short and sweet bite-sized solo cast around mental athleticism. We just dropped the first one. It's a 4-part series. It's what is mental athleticism. So
I saw
20
it.
minutes. Yeah. So it's
Super cute.
I'm excited. Like
Yeah.
it's finally coming together. And like when you are an entrepreneur coming off of selling my fitness, selling my interest, and you start over, right? I just basically started over and picking up the pieces from the ashes. And now they're started to kind of, I can see some shapes.
Yeah.
I can see some things happening. And I'm like, okay.
Very
as
exciting.
You know, the
Yeah.
journey of an entrepreneur, sometimes am I batshit crazy? You know, what is happening here? Why should I even do this? And so it's exciting. So yeah, I would love for people to jump on the crazy train.
Well, I think that's the exciting thing about entrepreneurship and being an entrepreneur is like we do come up with ideas that nobody else would think of. And then just the full execution of it is what makes it so exciting. But being committed to it and working hard to make sure that it comes to fruition, not a lot of people can do that. And so I love that it's all about badassery because that is definitely you in a nutshell.
Yeah. Yeah.
But could you tell the listeners, tell them what B Lab is, like in a 60-second commercial? What is B Lab?
So the B Lab in a 60-second commercial, we are the home of brave entrepreneurs and bolder humans.
Bam.
So I don't exist to just help entrepreneurs. What I exist to do is help people build an empire. So like your empire sitting at home could be, I want to raise these 3 kids right now to be the best humans they can be. And I'm a stay-at-home parent and this is my empire, right? So I want to build my inner badassery. I want to be more organized, more confident in my day. That to me is an empire. You could be an entrepreneur who wants to start. There's an empire. Or you could just be a human being existing in the world who wants to build their confidence. So I think the word empire is very much multifaceted. And so we exist to help people along the way. So like whatever phase that you're in, pretty much, I feel like I can kind of hook in and help you flourish. The B Lab is just, and that was probably more than 60 seconds, but we have this thing called the B10 now, which we've done one of them. They're this 10-day challenge, which is basically like an entrance into mental athleticism. And that starts on April 13th. We're doing our second one. We put some little mental athleticism training wheels on your ass. We make you do small things every day. We make you give up some things. It's very communal, very fun, dare I say. So yeah, we're doing a lot of cool stuff over here.
If people want to be part of the B10 experiment, how do they
So
engage?
you can go to kericroft.com and there's a tab that says the B10 challenge. So you can just sign up there.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can sign up for my newsletter too. Go to my Instagram, click the link in the bio, and you can see everything there.
Okay. And I know this, I'm not trying to turn this into a whole show about the B Lab,
Yeah.
but how did you come up with the name? Because I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was toiling and toiling over it. And I finally decided, I was like, forget it. Like the name will come to you. Let's not even think about it. And then I was driving in my car on the way home from Lima and I was just thinking of all the words, right? I was just like, gosh, I'm like, badass, build, brand, believe, belong. There were like 10 other ones. And I was like, okay, they're all B words. And so I was like, something has to be a B. And then I was walking that same weekend and I was just like, a lab. And it's kind of simple, and I was like, the B Lab. We'll see if it stays that name though.
I like it.
I like it too. There is another B Lab and it's in a different realm, but it might be I'm not trying to I'm not trying to get in any turf wars with names because I am very creative and there's so much here that I could easily pivot.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about that. And I'm very transparent about that too, because that's just one of many examples of the entrepreneur flow that you're going to run into, right? So like, be honest about it. Like, hey, I had to change my name because I'd rather not argue with this company and get into some kind of legal, because I do not like attorneys for the most part. I know you exist to help us and I love that you're around, but I do not want to deal with you in that way.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. And I'm not pressed about it.
Yeah.
What I'm pressed about is the heart and soul of what we're building. however we wrap it name wise, but I appreciate you liking the name because it has like a lot of, I feel like it has cachet, right?
Yeah, it's catchy. It's sharp. Like, I love it.
And I just love the meaning around it. Like
Yeah.
in terms of you have so many words that it could kind of encass.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's
another
awesome.
reason, and I do need to say this because this is also another business kind of thing. I thought at first when I was doing this, I definitely wanted the word badass to be in like the main title. And then I started thinking like, just because you love that doesn't mean it's the right thing for the greater good, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes we get real stuck emotionally with certain things, but it's going to end up holding you back in the long run. So that's why the B, and the B too kind of was like, okay, I can still say badass, but not everybody's going to resonate with badass. So I don't want to turn them away. But the B Lab is much more inclusive.
I agree.
But then I can still punch you right in the face with badass once you're through the door.
For those of you who don't know,
Sneak
Keri
attack.
does like these crazy garage workouts at like 5 in the morning or is it 4
4:30,
in the
honey.
Insane. No, I'm like barely getting to bed by then. So
We need to get you into one. We
I
need to
don't
get
know.
you into one. I did one this morning. It was like, we were questioning. I was like, I'm questioning this format.
I told you the other day I did this lower body heavyweight workout and I freaking could not walk for 3 days. It was so intense,
Yeah.
but I'm sure your workouts are just like
This
that.
was murder squad. It would have lit you. It would have lit you up. Like I felt like my legs today were like 3 feet ahead of me. I was like, what have you done?
I'm going to come sometime, but if I can get to bed before 10 o'clock one night, which is very rare for me, but
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
You'll get there just in time for the transition, the name change, which will be, it's kind of like daylight savings. So it's like we go from the cold ass garage club to the hot as fuck garage club,
Yes.
which is going to be insane.
A little bit of contrast therapy.
You know, I won't call it hot as fuck. I'll call it hot ass, everyone. Okay.
The hot ass garage
Yeah,
workout.
it'll
I'm
be
looking
hot.
so forward to that.
That's
it
when the
sounds
sauna
amazing.
is bad. The sauna is not fun in the heat.
So Keri's whole philosophy is work out in the garage in the wintertime so you get a cold plunge effect and work out in the garage in the summertime so you get a sauna effect.
Yeah, but I do have the sauna in there too.
You do?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So it's so nice. Like, so in the winter, it's like you're looking forward to this treat because it warms up. By the time you get done, you go right into 200 degrees. So it's insanely awesome.
That is cool.
But think about going into 200 degrees when you have gone an
After a
hour in the
workout.
heat.
Yeah.
So it's not as fun.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you right now,
I have to hose myself down.
we keep the saunas at the spa in the women's locker room at 140 degrees and in the men's at 180 degrees. And most people can't handle that. And they haven't done an hour workout before that. So I can imagine this is intense. Are you going to have like an EMS squad there waiting?
But just a defibrillator. And I do know CPR.
Thank goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, do you have any other Love is Blind questions?
I don't, but I think we just, or at least I thought to myself, the next time you invite me on your show, in case you decide to invite me again, I think we
Maybe.
talk
I
about.
have to
you
think
have
about
to look
it.
this. You have to look at this and look at this back and be like, okay, she's way too much of a liability here. God, what is wrong with this woman?
You guys let us know. What do you think? Do
Do you like
Keri?
this yin and
Do you like
yang? Do you
this?
like this kind of, me pushing her to the edge a little bit? I think the answer is going to be yes on social media. We're going to do a poll.
Okay.
But if you have me back on, I think we should do a little more talking about the deep dive into like the entrepreneurial.
Totally.
I think we could really.
We should definitely do that because I'm actually going through a restructuring with one of my other businesses right now. And it's been a lot. It was a really, really super hard decision for me to basically get to. And so I think it's something that our listeners would love to hear about
for
and
sure.
some things that you and I can talk about. So yeah, let's do this again. I think it'd be great.
I would love it. And if
Awesome.
you can think of anything else out there at home, just let us know. We'll come in and chop it up.
Yes, give us all your ideas.
I love it.
And if you want to be part of the B10 experiment, you want to get into the garage workouts, you want to learn more about B Lab, then look Keri up, KeriCroftShow.com.
Yep, just go to the Keri Croft Show on Instagram, click the link in my bio, and I have a link tree there that has everything consolidated. Or you can go to KeriCroft.com. The website is in progress, so you will have to give me a little grace. It's fine, but it's going to be better.
Part of the business woes, right? It's
You
all
know?
part of building a business and
We could
getting
talk
into
for
the
hours about that.
entrepreneurial
Yep.
world. Totally.
Yeah.
And definitely tune in to Keri's show, the Keri Croft Show, wherever you get your podcasts, because she is definitely really fun. Whole different vibe from me. So we'll see how many of my listeners translate over to you. But check her out. She's amazing. And I'm very grateful that you came on today. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I love hanging out with you. And
Same.
I love how curious you are about everything. She really pushes me. So thank you for being here today. And for everyone listening, thank you for tuning into the show today. As always, please check us out on Instagram and Facebook and follow us and listen to all of the shows wherever you get your podcasts. And until next time, keep balancing Serenity with Fire. I'm Krista Guadeni, and I'll see you in our next episode. At Panacea Luxury Spa Boutique, we don't just offer traditional spa treatments. We create rituals that relax your mind, restore your health, and rejuvenate your spirit. From biohacking technologies to advanced oncology-trained care, everything we do is designed to help you heal on the deepest level with clean, holistic therapies, products, and amenities that are second to none. And right now, you can experience two of my favorites, our whole body LED light bed or hyperbaric oxygen therapies. And as a thank you for listening, you'll get 10% off your first session when you use the code Serenity10 at booking. What is your panacea? Let us help you find it, because true wellness isn't a quick fix, it's a ritual.